Submission Radio here with Kelvin Gastelum ahead of his fight with Johny Hendricks at UFC 200. Kelvin, a really crazy fight weekend here, so many great fights, and you're a big part of that. I mean, your fight is very important on the card. How do you feel being on such a momentous card like UFC 200?
Man, I feel incredible. I feel privileged. I feel honored to be a part of this because not only is it a big fight for me, it's the biggest event in the history of martial arts. So, man, I am just feeling privileged to be part of such a historic event, you know?
You don't mind prelims, main card, early prelims, you don't mind where you are?
No, man, if it was up to me, I'd be on the Fight Pass prelims, man, because I like to get it over with and just enjoy the rest of the night, you know?
So what are you going to do? You're going to hopefully beat Johny Hendricks, go backstage and watch the rest of the fights?
That's the plan. Maybe beat Johny Hendricks, order a pizza, and call it a night, you know?
Wow, what pizza are you ordering?
Maybe pepperoni.
we think alike. I'm just wondering, okay, well, since you're talking about the fights, what are you looking forward to the most?
To the fights?
Yeah, which one do you want to watch the most after you obviously beat Johny Hendricks?
Man, there's so many good fights. I'm really looking forward to the Jose Aldo and Frankie Edgar fight. Those are two of my favorite fighters in all the UFC, so those I'm really looking forward to that one.
Now, we were talking to Johny Hendricks on the program last week, and he mentioned a sparring session you two had. You guys trained together at one point in a camp, and he mentioned he got the better of you. What were your thoughts when you sort of heard that come out? And also, in terms of sparring and training with Johny, how long did you spar with him? How long did you train with him?
Yeah.
And how much of an idea did that sort of give you when you're preparing for him now of what you can expect when you fight him?
Yeah, I was kind of like irked because or like bothered by it a little bit because, you know, what you do in the gym stays in the gym, you know, is what they say. But you know what? It doesn't matter to me. This happened 2 years ago. He was fighting for his second world title against Robbie Lawler. He had fought George St. Pierre previously to that. I was one fight removed from the Ultimate Fighter, so the level of skill at that time was not, you know, I was one fight removed from the he's fighting second world title. It's not even at that point in time. I knew that in a year or two I'd be able to, you know, compete at this level, and here I am 2 years later facing Johny Hendricks.
You obviously got a feel for the guy, you know, at certain points in sparring. Do you feel confident that you're at the point now where you have maybe, you know, matched his level or even surpassed so that you can go into this fight and beat him handily?
Yeah, I absolutely feel like I have surpassed the level. He's obviously a great fighter, but I feel like he has not progressed as a fighter. And I feel like I do. I have, you know, in these 2 years, if he thinks I'm the same fighter I was 2 years ago, then he's as smart as a box of rocks. So, you know, it's just common sense. I don't know.
A lot of people looking at this matchup, two strong wrestlers, some people suggesting wrestling will negate itself and it'll be a stand-up battle. Do you feel that way, or do you think your wrestling strong enough to take him down and use it in the fight?
Yeah, I feel like my wrestling is strong enough to take him down, my jiu-jitsu is strong enough to submit him, and my Muay Thai and boxing is strong enough to knock him out. So anywhere the fight goes, I'm ready to take him out.
I mean, it's an interesting fight. It's a big fight, and there's a lot on the line. After Johny Hendricks, what do you think this does for you in the division? Obviously, we haven't sort of seen as much of you in the limelight as of late, but now with a win over Johny Hendricks, you'll be right back there. Do you have a plan of what you want next, or is it sort of one fight at a time for you?
It's one fight at a time, you know, but obviously a win over Johny would put me in the title conversations, and that's ultimately what I want. I want that gold strap around my waist, and I want that opportunity to be fighting one of the winners of Robbie and Woodley.
Let me ask you about Stephen Thompson. He had a great performance against Rory McDonald. What do you think about him? What do you think about his skill set? And what do you think about his chances against Robbie Lawler if Robbie does beat time?
Man, I think he can knock him out. He's so technical on his stand-up that I think he can knock almost anybody out in the division. Obviously, he didn't do it against Rory McDonald because Rory McDonald himself is a very technical fighter. But Robbie is a hard-nosed forward guy, you know, and if you come forward against Stephen Thompson, you're going to pay for it. And, you know, I think he can knock out the champ for sure.
While we're talking about champions in the title picture, you know, George St. Pierre has been talking about potentially returning. Yeah. We asked Johny Hendricks these questions, but he's so focused on you, he's not looking past, you know, anybody. I'm wondering, what about yourself? Did it excite you at all hearing that, you know, the welterweight former champion is coming back, and maybe that's a guy that you might face in the future? Would that something that you're interested in?
I'm just a fan of George St. Pierre. You know, I love the guy. I've trained with the guy. And I was a fan before I even met him, and he's just one of the guys that I look up to in the sport. So I was happy when he was going to say, "Oh, I'm coming back to fight," and then to to have him in the same division as that I'm fighting in, man, you know, it's just for me, it's kind of out of this world to be even thinking about fighting him because he's just so much up there. But you know, it'd be an honor for me to share the cage with that guy.
Well, before we let you go, we have to grab a prediction from you. How do you see this fight playing out with Johny Hendricks? Obviously, you guys have trained together. You've seen him in the gym. How are you feeling this one's going to play out?
Man, I feel like I've been working so much on my stand-up. I feel like it could be a knockout.
Well, hopefully we see a knockout. Good luck in the fight, Kelvin, and hopefully you get a delicious pizza afterwards.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it, man. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.